All right, how's everyone doing? I am Rich CELENZA. Thanks for checking out the Rich CELENZA Show. So what I want to get into on this podcast is kind of a follow-up I did a long time ago regarding a lot of guys I know wanted to be criminals or were criminals, ended up getting busted, or are thinking about becoming kind of a criminal or breaking the law to do certain things, and it could be anything. And I grew up around a lot of people that were breaking the law. And it was family members, friends. I may have even been involved with a lot of things with gambling that, weren't necessarily legal, but it's kind of hard to prove that it was illegal and all these different types of things. But on this one, I kind of want to talk about is, a lot of people out there not realizing that, when it comes to doing criminal activity or breaking the law, I don't care if you want to sell drugs. I don't care if you want to sell whatever the hell you're doing. I don't know what it is. But what a lot of people have to understand when it comes to these type of things is originally I look at things like this. When you do, let's say a heist, right? Because I love heist shows, heist movies, all these different types of things. When you make a move, you're on the offense, you're in control, and the police or, whoever is on the defense because you decided to do this out of nowhere. They're not mind readers. They don't know what you're going to do. So you're in the driver's seat a lot of times. Whatever you're doing at the beginning, it's on you. You are making the move. Now, again, if you get in a position where they're on top of your ass very quickly, I would say most likely this is definitely not the business for you, which I usually tell most people. Most people I know do not belong in a business that's illegal because they're horrible at it. They got either big mouths, they don't know what they're doing, too many people know their business, they're kind of just, after they pull a move, they're too overly exposed, they're talking on phones, texting, even the things they did before to set things up, they just don't know what they're doing. I'm just telling you. But back to offense and defense. When you're a criminal, a lot of times at the beginning, you are on the offense. You are in control. You are making moves. But what they don't realize is once the police or whoever, the law gets involved, you quickly are on the defense because now they have shifted it. Now they're coming after you. The only difference is, here's the deal. A lot of times when you make a move, back to a heist, you only have a certain amount of time, let's say. Or even if you're selling drugs, you only have a certain things you can do that are going to keep going before eventually something leaks. Where now when the police are involved, who were kind of first like just trying to figure this shit out. So you're making the moves and they got to figure out who the hell you are. And if they take you down, how they going to do it legally. And then when they get you in the court or they got to press charges, all these different types of things, they're kind of on the defense. They're like, holy shit, what's going on here? We have to figure this out. But once they get in their groove, now it flips. And you want to talk about somebody who's on the offense, it's them. Not only that, here's the thing. They're usually not under any time restraint. I mean, don't get me wrong. It's not like if there's an open case, you can't go on years and years and years and years. Some do, depending on how big it is. But a lot of them have the time, the resources. They are connected in ways you have no idea. From surveillance, they have access to things that you have no idea. All these type of things that, you think that you're sharp when the reality is you're kind of stupid. They're sharp. Not only that, when you do get busted, which most likely you're going to get busted, no matter who you are. And a lot of times I talk about it's not what you get busted for. So if you get caught doing something, it's what you get your charge reduced to. That's kind of the game. Don't kid yourself. You get busted for this, right? You want to reduce it to this. I mean, obviously you want to get out of it entirely, but if there's surveillance or there's video and there's people talking and you text and you got this, you know what I mean? There's fingerprints, there's all this different type of things and you're busted. You're busted. And the reason I bring up all these things, because I have a young age demographic, and I know they're influenced a lot of times by people doing a lot of things around them, especially in Florida. Florida and drugs go hand in hand. I still see it, even though I'm beyond middle-aged. It's still huge. A lot of drugs are massive. They're probably bigger than ever. If you do want to do things like that, let's say get involved with that trait of drugs or whatever, go sell weed, start learning it, do it legally. And I get a lot of times you think, it's glamorized or it's glamorous to do things illegal and you're going to make all this money and all this. I heard a stat once, a long time ago when I was younger, that the average drug dealer throughout their life, the average, I think most didn't even make $5 an hour. not to mention, after all the time that they spend in jail that they lose, all their expenses that they spend on their legal fees, all the stress that they put them and their family and everybody else through, they didn't make any money. I know you think a lot of times like, I'm going to be different and I'm going to be the one that makes it, or I'm going to end up being a boss, right? And everyone's going to work for me and all these different types of things. The odds of you doing that, you probably got better odds of becoming a CEO or the president of a Fortune 500 company. You might as well go legit, not illegit. That's really what the podcast is about, because very few people go unscathed when it comes to breaking the law, when dealing with anything kind of business related. And believe me, I love watching shows like Narcos and Gomorrah and all these criminal empires. I don't care what the hell it is, and we all love watching it, but a lot of this is fantasy. The reality of a lot of things, not only if you break the law, a lot of times you're going to end up in jail. Who the hell knows what they're going to do to you in there? I don't even want to get into that. But a lot of times you don't realize too, they may kill you, torture you, and also your family members, friends, or other people that you know. That's how, that's where the leverage is. And a lot of people don't realize that. So I just want to do a podcast on this. Please be aware of what you're doing. And, if you want to break the law, you're going to break the law. I'm not here to tell you what to do with your life, but really think things through, because a lot of times you may make one bad move in one day, in 1 hour or 1 minute that can change your life forever. And a lot of times there is no going back. So really weigh that out. Is it worth it? I used to go around and say, I never understood people that pulled heists or made moves for thousands of dollars, even hundreds of thousands of dollars, because if you get busted, your legal fees and you're going to, all these different types of things, is it worth it? You're talking about multi-millions of dollars, maybe, but still, what's your freedom worth, right? That's what you got to look at. So anyways, I'm going to wrap it up there. This was just one of my crazy rants. Not even sure if it's going to go on the podcast, but sometimes I just like to think about these things or talk about them to people, especially I'm like 82% male demographic here. And I know a lot of them do drugs, and I know a lot of them do a lot of crazy things, and they like to party, and they like to come up with schemes. And I know some of them, think they're going to do whatever the hell they're going to do and get away with it. And most of the time, you're not. All right. If most people got away with what they think they're going to get away with, the prisons wouldn't be where the hell they're at. All right. Anyways, take care, everyone.